Hello and welcome to the Stamp Around UK video hop. This month it's February 2025 and our theme for this month is dies. Now you ask any Stampin' Up demonstrator and they will tell you that what they love most about Stampin' Up is either the quality or the fact that everything coordinates, and my favourite thing is that everything coordinates and the quality is brilliant too. So we get lots of stamp sets that have matching dies, and also they match the designer series paper as well. Okay, so look at this. So there's two size dies in the Winterly treetops that match this. So we've got this bird and this one, which is the one we're going to use today. There's also a stamp for this, so you could stamp it and colour it in, or you can just die cut it from the designer series paper. So it's just so lovely. I did a class on Saturday. We had 19 people there. And it was just, they were really impressed that you can just die cut out a bird and you've got a card. It's just really, really cool. And there's loads. And there's 2 sheets of these in every pack. So, and this is the Nests of Winter designer series paper. So this die here is going to cut out one of these. And then I'm also going to use another stamp set with coordinating dies. And this is something fancy. So this is one that's got lots of sentiments in, which are absolutely gorgeous, and then they've got matching dies as well, and you can also put little details onto, so you can make that into a tag by using that one with a little hole, or you can add some leaves to it, or a little bit of a tulip. Use, as you can tell, because it's a little bit bent, use this all the time with lots of different stamp sets. It just produces a gorgeous little banner. And then I'm using the other 2 of this set, so they nest together, which is really brilliant. And a random hexagon, do you know that I've used that loads of time as well? So these not only coordinate with these stamp sets, but they work with other stamp sets as well. So we're going to use 2 dies from here and 1 for the Winterly treetops to make our card today. Right, so these are the ones I need. So I'll pop these to one side. So, and this is one of the cards we made on Saturday. And I had a kit left over, so I thought, why not demonstrate it to you? So I have a 5x7 card blank. So it's a nice big card blank. And that is thick basic white, 10 inches by 7 inches, scored at 10. Scored at 5 inches, which will give you your card blank. And then I have some basic grey in here, some various bits in here. So I have basic grey, which is 14.8 centimetres by 11.2. So that's basically half an A4 this way and then 11.2 wide. And then I've got a scrap of basic grey to do the outline of the sentiment. I've got a scrap of basic white to do the main sentiment, and then I've actually got, because this is designer series paper, so be careful cutting out so you're not cutting the other ones, we say the robins. But because it's designer series paper and I'm going to put it on dimensionals, I'm actually going to stick it onto a piece of normal basic white just to strengthen it. And then this piece of designer series paper is also from the Nest of Winter dies, stamps, paper pack. Hey, stop rushing, Linda. So, and again, I mean, I did a whole class just using this paper, and it was just gorgeous and everybody loved it, so it was really nice. And I don't think, because I'm thinking we're sort of hopefully heading towards spring, but you know, birds are in season all year, so we can have them nests of winter, nests of spring and nests of summer. So and I just like the neutral background with just tiny little pickups of the little birds. Okay, so let's put this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this onto the white so that it can dry a little bit before I do my die cutting. So I'm just fairly liberally, because I want to get all the edges, going to pop that on here. Oops, and spread it out. Okay, there we go. So just spread that out with my fingers underneath. Just check. Yeah, I've got none on there anyway, so I can do that. Right, so I'm just going to pop that to one side so it can dry while I put together the very, very simple card. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this on here. Still another gorgeous side. And I didn't notice until we were doing the class that this has got little birds in as well. So as well as the foliage. How cute is that? It is, as ever with these things, the catalogue does not do it justice. It's once you get it into your hands and you can then see just how gorgeous they are. And this paper coordinates with, well, I don't think it, Basic Grey is one of the named, but Basic is one of our neutrals and basically goes with everything. So just going to stick that down. And the DSP is not written down. Interesting. Right, okay, so that's 14.8. This will be a 14.3. And if that's 11.2, that'll be 10.7. I will write the instructions down below in the description. Also in the description, there'll be a list of demonstrators taking part in this hop. Do hop along and have a look. There'll be loads of different inspiration of how to use things, and beautiful cards to make, I am sure. So, right. And the reason I made this piece 14.2 high, 14.8 high rather, woo, it was so I could get 2 pieces out of one sheet of card. Because when you're doing 20th class, you need that. Well, we had 19 there, and then we made up kits for 2 who couldn't come, unfortunately, at the last minute. So there we go. And then I will stamp my sentiment on here. So I'm using my Basic Grey ink, again, coordination, coordination and coordination. And then the sentiment I've chosen from the stamp set is, I didn't forget your birthday, I'm just stretching out the celebration, which I love. So I'm shaking my lamp there. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, just excuse me a second. Excuse me. Right, it's quite a big stamp, so you want to make sure that you're getting coverage. And there we go. How cute is that? Stamps beautifully. Okay, and I shall get my little mini die cutting machine to cut everything out. I don't need you anymore. But I do need you too. Right. So I'm going to cut out the didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching it out. Okay, and I've just got some die tape somewhere in my little box of trinkets, literally trinkets, the bead trinkets and all stuff like that are in there. Oh, nails. Okay, so I didn't forget your birthday. I am just stretching it out. Although I do think having one of these in your stash is sort of assuming you're going to forget somebody's birthday. It's nothing like being prepared. Okay, so I'm just going to feed that through. If you're wondering about the die tape, it is one of my sort of, go-to essentials. It's Craft Perfect die tape, and I got mine from the big shop that begins with A. And I don't know how I managed before I got it. So, it's just so useful. do this one. And again, when you're cutting out sort of rectangles and squares, try and offset them a little bit so that the straight edge isn't hitting your rollers straight on. It just means that it's not going to jump, and it'll cut it out without making lots of horrible noises. That's the main thing. Right, so I kept my dye tape, so I'm finding the best way to do this, sorry if you can't see, is I'm sort of lining up the beak and the tail. Okay, and then you can see the end of the little twig through there. There it is. I was looking for my other piece of tape, and then just checking that beak's in place, and it is. And just stick that down. And largely everything else is going to be in place. Okay. Or you can fussy cut them out. But I just love that they do have the coordinating dies, which is our theme for this week. This month rather. Right, just going to pop this away and check that my paper's still straight, because I bet it's not. Nope. There we go. Those back on there. Oh, I just missed a little bit. I hadn't realised I'd chopped off some of the berry. Let me have a look at that. Just a tiny weeny bit. See, I must have been rushing when I cut this one out. Oh, you'd never know. You would never know. Right. So I'll pop everything back on there, and then as you can see, there's just, if you were fussy cutting out, obviously you'd struggle to do those two little bits there. But that's a much firmer piece because it's got both the card and the designer series paper. Right, so I'm just going to pop some glue on here. So what I did was I put glue up between these two, and then I lifted it up on dimensionals, and I popped this on dimensionals as well. So I'll just go get my little dimensionals out in a sec, and the big ones for this. So see how that nests together beautifully, the curves. Just shrink down just the right amount. Okay, and so really simple, quick card. So I'm just going to put the birds there. And then I didn't forget your birthday here. Right, dimensionals. So, use this one. Right, so don't forget to check in the description below, so that will have the measurements in, but it will also have a link to everybody else's video as well. So do take the time and hop around, and all of them will have measurements and things on. There's nothing more frustrating, I find, than when you're watching, you know, you find something on Pinterest or you find something on YouTube, click the link and there's no measurements, so you're having to wing it and work it out yourself. So on these we do make sure that we include all the measurements for you, so that you know exactly how to make these projects of ours. I think I'll just put one there. I think because it's on the card, it's very firm, so it's not going to flop around. But you could add some more little dimensionals onto the sprigs and stuff if you want. Just going to stick another little one there. So that's us for this month. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hop along and see everyone else's. And I think I'm just going to pop that there. And there we go. How cute is that? Even with the little tiny bit of berry missing. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye.